let's talk about one of the most frustrating paradoxes of modern life. You know the feeling, right? You're putting in 40, 50, maybe even 60 hours a week, giving it your absolute all. And yet, when you check your bank account at the end of the month, you feel completely stuck in the rat race. Welcome to this explainer on the 4 pillars of financial literacy. So why is it that you can work so incredibly hard but still remain broke? Man, it's a demoralizing reality. You do everything society tells you to do, you work hard, you pay your bills, but by the 30th of the month, that decent paycheck has literally just vanished into thin air. Well, here's the secret. The culprit keeping you stuck actually isn't a lack of some massive 6-figure salary. The real problem? It's a lack of financial education. Escaping this cycle doesn't require a sudden windfall or winning the lottery. It just requires a highly logical set of skills that absolutely anyone can learn, completely regardless of your current net worth. Okay, let's dive straight into this. To get out of that cycle, we're going to build on 4 simple pillars: spend less, invest wisely, understand debt, and keep learning. Rule number 1, spend less. This right here is your core defensive strategy. Most people, well, they follow a pretty broken sequence. They earn, they spend, and then they try to save whatever happens to be left over. But spoiler alert, there's almost never anything left over, is there? The big behavioral shift we need to make is prioritizing savings out of every single paycheck before any discretionary spending happens. Basically, you have to pay yourself first. And this brilliantly illustrates how carving out your savings and investing first completely rewires your financial math. Standard budgeting models, like the popular 50-30-20 rule, build on this exact premise. Only after that savings baseline is totally secured do you allocate funds to your necessary living expenses, things like rent and groceries. Whatever remains after that is what you're actually allowed to spend on the fun, discretionary stuff. Because here's the reality. Wealth doesn't begin with a lucky stock pick, and it doesn't begin with a surprise inheritance. It starts with the everyday, disciplined choices of controlling your spending. Mastering this single behavior, that pours the concrete foundation for the rest of your financial life. Moving on to Rule 2, invest wisely. Now that we've got your defense locked in, it is time for offense. Relying solely on a salary means you are working for money, which means you're strictly bound by the 24 hours in a day. The ultimate wealth engine is flipping that dynamic upside down. It means taking those savings we just talked about and acquiring assets, like broad market index funds or real estate, that leverage compound interest to generate their own income, completely independent of your time. It's like having your money work the night shift for you. And that brings us to the ultimate mathematical milestone: 100%. True financial freedom is the exact moment when the passive income generated by those investments hits 100% of your living expenses. Boom. That's when your assets have officially eclipsed your labor. That brings us to rule number 3, understand debt. To reach that milestone safely, we really have to dismantle a widespread cultural myth: the idea that all debt is inherently evil. It's just not true. Good debt absolutely exists. So, the crucial point is that good debt is strategic leverage, borrowing responsibly to acquire assets, fund an education, or build a business that will ultimately put more money in your pocket over time. The real difference lies in the trajectory of the underlying asset. Bad debt acts like a leaky bucket. Think of high-interest consumer loans for things like luxury cars or designer clothes that immediately lose value and generate zero income. Good debt, on the other hand, is an engine. You're using borrowed capital to acquire assets that appreciate or generate cash flow, which actively expands your net worth. Not all debt is harmful. The ability to ruthlessly distinguish between borrowing that drains your wealth and borrowing that accelerates it, that is arguably one of the most nuanced and powerful tools you can possess in your entire financial arsenal. And finally, rule number 4, keep learning. Think of this pillar as the maintenance plan for your wealth engine. Financial education isn't just some one-and-done high school class you take and forget about. You have to read consistently to gain deep insights, rigorously track your own numbers, and monitor macroeconomic forces like inflation and tax codes. Because if you aren't paying attention, those forces will silently erode your wealth. The fact is, financial literacy is a lifelong process. The rules of money are in constant motion. Markets evolve, economies shift. Continuous education acts as your strongest shield and your sharpest weapon, allowing you to adapt to whatever the market throws your way. Which leads us to our grand synthesis, the ultimate wealth formula. If you take only one thing away from this explainer today, please let it be this: Money management matters way more than earning a high salary. Consistent saving, smart investing, disciplined spending, and continuous learning, they will beat a massive income every single time. It's honestly never just about what you make. It's entirely about what you keep and how you grow it. So, I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Which of these 4 pillars will you build first today? Are you going to audit your expenses, maybe open up a new investment account, refinance a bad loan, or just pick up a book? The roadmap is right in front of you. Thanks so much for exploring this with me. Now get out there and start building.